at a regular meeting location, Roscoe Village Hall. Provisions have been made to allow elected officials, village staff, and members of the public to participate remotely if necessary. As always, any action taken tonight will be conducted by a roll call vote. Item 2, pledge of allegiance. I'll now ask those present to please rise for a pledge of allegiance. Given the audio delay issues, we will ask everyone to participate remotely to please keep their microphone on mute during the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, item 3. Roll call. Clerk, will you please call the roll? And for those trustees joining us remotely, please acknowledge that you can hear the proceedings.
Roscoe.
Here.
Hawk.
Here.
Dunn.
Here.
King.
Here, and I can hear you.
Eddie. Here. Gustafson. I'm so sorry. You're here. I
You're doing good.
apologize. That's okay. I can do. I'm present.
Item 4, public comment. Any members out in the public that wish to be heard under the public comment this evening? If there are any members of the public logged in to the meeting this evening that wish to speak, please unmute your phone or microphone, state your name and address, and as always, limit your comments to 3 minutes. And then if you're remotely, if you hit *6, Joe will see your hand raised, and then we can let you into the meeting. Joe, do you got any hands up?
No, you're not.
No hands up. Anybody out here on the floor wish to speak under public comment? Here. Thank you. No. Public comment going once, public comment going twice, public comment is now gone. Item 5, President's report. I don't have one this evening. Item 6, Treasurer's report, and Steve is out this evening along with Chief. She called me, she wasn't feeling well, so Scott, would you be so kind as to read what Steve gave you?
We start with an starting balance of total pooled cash and equivalents in the general fund of $9,548,720.50. We have expenditures per list of $619,586.52. We have payroll and IMRF expenses totaling $86,088. When it comes to total general fund expenditures, $705,674.52. This leaves a general fund checking balance after expenditures of $8,843,045.98. There are not motor fuel tax expenditures this evening, but we do have an MFT account balance of $1,357,107.25.
Excellent, thank you. We have a motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
First by Michael Dunn, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Justin Plock. Any discussion?
Yes, I have one request of our clerk. When I vote on this, would you please have the minutes reflect that I will vote yes on paying the bills exclusive of the bill to Lang Lighting. I do not approve of spending that $11,000 on first installment of Christmas lights to Lang Lighting.
Did you get that correct?
That's
Okay, clerk call roll.
Gustafson.
Yes, with that
Done.
exception.
Yes.
Hawk.
Yes.
Petty.
Yes.
King.
Yes,
Malaco.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Consent agenda, item 7. There's 2 things under consent agenda this evening. 7.1, approval of the September 20th, 2022 meeting minutes, and 7.2, approval of the September 27th special called meeting minutes. Are there any objections to voting on all these items as part of the consent agenda? Everybody go with that? Okay. Clerk call the roll, please.
I need a motion.
Oh, I need a motion. I apologize. I have a motion for 7.1 and 7.2 consent agenda. First by Stacy Malcoat, second by Anthony King. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Petty.
Yes.
King.
yes,
Gustafson,
Yes,
Malaco,
Yes.
Hawk,
Yes.
Dunn.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 8, motion and resolutions, final action, 8.1, approval of resolution 2022 R66, approval of acquisition of 2023 International Versatile Aerial Bucket Truck under the terms of the village master lease agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management Incorporated for the use of the Public Works Department for a combined quoted price of $153,857.40. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
First by Justin Platt. Can I have a second? Second by Michael Dunn. Any discussion?
yes. Once again, I would like the clerk to make note that while this price quoted is enterprise, by the time we pay this off over 6 years, the total cost will be in excess of $190,000. So I think taxpayers might be interested in that someday down the future.
Sure.
And
Okay.
I have something to say.
Sure, go ahead.
I contacted John Peterson
Mhm.
in Rockton.
Mhm.
And they use Alliant Energy's bucket trucks. They thought about buying one. I mean, this is something to consider, leasing our truck out.
Sure. And you already
As,
called?
oh, did he?
Yes, you did. Along with other people because we have it on our agenda. So
Yeah.
we'll deal with that as time goes on.
And he had seen it, but he and I were talking about another issue in Rockton. And I called Steve, Public Works Director in South Beloit. They have a bucket truck, but they're looking to buy another one. So that might be another option.
Never know. We'll see as time goes on. Any other questions?
Yeah, I did. I looked up rentals because trustee Gustafson had suggested that. Going with a cheaper one that I found for just a man lift. Basically, we're looking at a truck that's gonna last about 20 years, so excess of $190,000 for 20 years. To rent one would be $309,580 over 20 years.
Assuming using it how many days at one time?
20 days a year and then 1 week for Christmas.
Much stuff.
Okay, clerk call the roll.
Dunn,
Yes.
Clock,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Gustafson,
No,
Keen,
yes,
Hetty.
No,
Yeah, I'm curious, passes 4-2. 8.2, approval of resolution 2022 R67, approving the specifications and issuance of a request for a proposal for residential waste hauling services. Scott, can you please briefly address the RFP that we plan on sending?
I actually will pass the buck and ask Joe if he has any high level overview to give on this. Joe's.
Essentially, what we're
There's a lot of work on
doing
this.
is we are figuring out what we currently have.
Mhm.
We're also doing an alternate this year. One of the alternates we discussed previously is going to be asking them to bid it the price we do every other week recycling. So we can see what that would cost. And also we're going to do one where the yard waste will be sort of pay as you go. Like we've done previously. Either, doing a sticker or, once a year contract that the residents can choose to sort of add that on to theirs. So we have several different options. We'll see what prices we get. And at that point, we get the prices back. And the board can discuss that and decide which
Does
option.
everyone see that the county is asking for all and it'll affect a lot of our neighbors. We get a lot of calls from people who say they live in Roscoe.
And they
They
don't.
don't, they're outside of our village limits. But the mailing address is Roscoe. But so unincorporated Winnebago County has just started charging $250 a year for yard waste. As a separate cost that had been previously included. They're doing it as a one-time, as I understand it, you have to write a check for $250 to participate for the.
For the whole calendar year.
Well, I mean, for the period of time they collect yard waste, which is, I think, beginning of April 1 through October 31.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're not making it part of your bill each month. It's if you want.
Separate item.
It's $250.
I think it's how some.
Anyway, we'll be getting calls about that because everyone will think.
Sure.
I would like to,
Always been a lot of confusion in regards to who lives where.
I would like to ask Joe something. As I look through this, We had always asked that the contractor take care of billing,
Yep.
but we don't, unless I missed it.
Page 8, because Scott and I were looking at this afternoon.
We don't have anything in here.
It's
that asks them to
it's
put
page
down.
8. Yeah, page 8. So it's section M.
Well, sir,
Well, it made
No,
a
it starts-
statement that they were going to do it,
Yeah.
but can we have the, call it out and put down how much so that we can
So
compare?
that's a
apples to
discussion.
apples?
So we could, the original version was going to, as I was looking at different ways that other places have put these out and this type of service we're asking for. It may be we can maybe possibly get a better price if we're just saying, this is the scope we're looking for, including residential billing, where essentially it's a franchise agreement. It's saying you have the right to come in here and collect all the, accounts in the village of Roscoe, which is sort of more of a traditional way of doing it than we've done in the past. And so we're sort of making that assumption that, yep, this is the franchise agreement. Yep, you're going to be doing the billing yourself, the collections yourself. All we're sort of bidding out to you is the right to come in here at X price to collect the garbage, to make it sort of a single source.
So no surprises.
It's a strategy.
it's a fair question, but Joe and I talked about
It
some
is,
things today. It
yeah.
does, I had the
I
same,
understand your point,
I
yeah.
mean,
had the same comments on the
surprises.
front.
Yeah.
Some people,
Yeah.
some organizations will push forward $8.50 or $5
Yeah.
each billing period. And so I just want to make sure our customers and residents, constituents are protected here. So I hear what you're
That
saying.
portion, yes. So, okay, so that question, so there's two issues there. So one is the bid, how much is the contractor going to charge for the billing process? The issue about the fees or charges or any of that, that will be covered in here. They will have to give us that sheet. And currently they do right now, they have to say, here's any sort of fees we're adding on, here's the, whatever else it is. That'll be part of that contract where it will say, we'll know exactly what those numbers are. And then we'll be able just to throw on extra fees or extra charges. As of right now, currently right now, they're not allowed to either.
Okay, so we're going to look at the price and not really ask them what.
To
that
break
quote-
out that portion of it.
that's correct.
Scott had the same discussion this afternoon. He had the same comment really. And we could, I just think my thought is that then you're going to get a number plus here's extra, here's our normal number. And, now I can tack on an extra $1 or $2. So I think that's my thought about it, is that this may get a better number. But
I agree with you, Joe. And I questioned it, but I agree with you.
yeah.
It is spelled out, be sure of that. We will, as we work the past contract, this will be ironclad that there are no abilities to amend or adjust upward. That has given us great peace of mind whenever, and even just today, there was speculation online, again, due to confusion between in the village or out of the village, but speculation that additional administration fees have been tacked down, or people will call and say there's a fuel surcharge, and we'll always instantly say
Yeah.
there is not in Roscoe.
Our contract currently is excellent. We locked
That was
that
the other-
contract down.
That was
So,
the former
yeah.
contract that did that stuff.
But that same lack of ability to change the contract amount will be in place again, I can assure you. And it is covered there both in page 5, collections, item F, collection of charges, then page 7, when it gets into, or page 8 into residential billing, it clearly spells out their roles and responsibilities and the risks they assume on the financial side of this. I think Joe has structured it intelligently. So it's not just shiny,
yeah,
not to unnecessarily give them the opportunity to drive that price up.
And let's hope our post office doesn't mail everyone's bill back to them like they did a couple months ago.
Yeah.
That's
Do we have a-
30% of it.
General idea of how many contractors are available out there to do this type of service?
not a lot anymore.
General opinion is there are 2,
Yeah,
sadly.
Correct.
most of them have bought out by those 2 last 10 years.
I've put together a short list of people that seem like they should be within arm's reach and might be potential candidates. We will specifically invite them to bid, but it looks like it's a pool of 2 candidates that are bidding on stuff here now.
Sworn on the block with.
What's that? Oh,
And
Okay.
this is garbage related, but not specifically to this, our current contract. I've gotten some information from some constituents that they're told by Waste Management that Waste Management will not pick up bulk items or they will bill them. So Waste Management is confused. And so I've just told people to call.
Yep.
And
I get those calls regularly. I feel that we straighten all of them out, but that is a concern. Wrong information has been passed on to the customers.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, any other discussion? Clerk call roll, please.
Did we all motion?
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, there was a motion in a second.
No.
No? Yeah, I thought that.
Sure, so moved.
Yeah, that was Stacy. Stacy and Anthony.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe
Who was the
I'll-
second? Sorry.
Anthony.
Oh,
Yep. So.
Kane,
Yes.
Don,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Block,
Yes.
Hetty,
Yes.
Gustafson.
Yes,
Okay, motion carries 6-0. Item 9, new business. I don't have anything under new business. Under old business, I'd just like to remind everybody that people are still getting sick. She called me about 20 minutes, 45 minutes before the meeting, let me know that she wasn't feeling up the park. We'd have an officer here. We got 2, thank you. And then, or Steve coming in as well. So just safeguard yourselves, please. If you are not feeling well, please let us know so we don't spread anything to any of the other people that work here inside the building or out.
I'd like to bring up something under new business.
Sure.
I strolled about because I was curious as to what building was going on in Denali. And there are piles of rubbish again, just like what was left behind once upon a time in Chicory Ridge Park. So we're talking about a lot of tree clearing in various areas. So the question, I guess, of Joe, is that a property maintenance issue, a code enforcement issue? Can these people have bonfires here where they have all this stuff?
The specifics on that, but probably not bonfires unless it's yard waste on the property, but we have a.
No, they've
wonderful code
been
enforcement officer now.
clearing some trees and putting it in
We
big
will send
stacks.
officer, or I guess we had 2
Scott, when's our
other.
meeting with them?
Well,
Tomorrow, was it? 2 o'clock?
We'll send our new code enforcement officer out there though. He's been very
all-
actively on things, so we can send him out there and take a look at that.
Most of this stuff is along the west border. And one looks like it's even put in what will be a retention area. Okay, the second item of new business, again, while I was out there, we have all gotten email from individuals who go to the collective mailboxes. You remember what a big issue that was with people that they don't have mailboxes in front of their homes and they have to go to the mailbox bank to do that. There was an article in the news a few weeks ago, and I thought perhaps we could do this. This article was about neighborhood vehicles. I would like to see something drawn up where people who live just within Denali could use a neighborhood vehicle that would be something that has less than 25, 30 miles per hour horsepower, where they could take that and drive and collect their mail. So I'd like to explore if we can do that in our community. We can designate some streets, some areas that are a particular need where people might want to drive a golf cart, for example, to go get their mail, or they don't have one, they're riding lawnmower, disabled or something, and you want to get to your mailbox. But as I said, several communities have
Are you,
do this.
just for clarity, are you suggesting that we provide this?
Oh,
vehicle?
heavens, no, that we allow them. Oh, no.
Because it was,
No, that
you
we-
were like leaning towards that we were gonna provide
Oh,
it,
heck,
Carol.
no, I'm sorry. No, that we would allow those on
It's
certain
called a community
streets.
vehicle, I thought, oh, it's like a.
No, it was a neighborhood vehicle. The individual who owns that
Okay.
within his neighborhood
Okay.
on X number of streets would be allowed to do that particular task with that particular vehicle with limited horsepower. This type of stuff exists in lots of neighborhoods all across the country. I think you'll find most of it in the
Are you talking about-
southeast. And
Are you talking about one vehicle that one person has, or everybody in the neighborhood could have a golf cart and go to their mailbox?
whoever has one, whoever has a golf cart wants to use a golf cart to go get the mail because they live at the opposite end of where that bank of mailboxes are. Or if I don't have a golf cart, but I have a riding lawnmower and I twisted my ankle and I can't hobble down there. So I want to get on my lawnmower and just be able to go get my mail and come back because I don't have that mail at the end of my driveway anymore.
We can definitely explore that.
So I would like the chief and our attorney. Can you put together some
Yeah, I
kind
can
of a
put something
draft or
together,
do some?
but I think you should be, I think you should definitely have Chief Evans or somebody from the department input on this as well.
Right.
I think there's always issues with it. I know what places do it, in Illinois, you're allowed to, we can pass something allowing it. Let's just make sure we really think about how it's all gonna come out, or how it's all gonna, some of the effects of it, I think, in other parts of the village.
So there were some outlying communities out west. I think the news story of Peachtree, Pecatonica, and Durant
There definitely are some.
having-
Yep.
designated a couple of streets where people could use
Yep.
these types of things
No, it's.
for limited,
I can.
their personal vehicles.
Many people wanted to do that in Chicory Ridge and Chief was not for it at all.
Well,
So,
it's kind of a different situation.
right, but if you do for one, you're kind of,
Well,
I mean,
not necessarily. I think it depends on how it's drawn and for what purpose, but we'll have to
I get it,
explore.
but you'll have other residents in here.
Sure.
Other subdivisions?
You can definitely put together a summary of
Oh, we'll deal with it
the
accordingly.
regulations that we can put in place. We can go from there.
Wait till Halloween.
Yes, exactly. Just saying.
We'll be 50 in our neighborhood alone.
We'll take it. Okay, anything else on our new business? No? Yeah,
I forgot to bring up under.
sure, go
bills.
right ahead.
State
Under
line,
bills?
yeah, but it's just a comment. that I-
Okay, because
This,
Steve's not here. So.
I saw a bill from State Line Technologies, and I thought we were done with State Line Technologies. This is just kind of interesting, I think. And I understand Mike came back, but when we had that disaster and
Yes, we
I
discussed
came-
that. We discussed that.
we
Anyway,
discussed.
the answer is correct. But I want to clarify two things. There is still a bill, I think I've discussed this at past meetings. There's still a bill that is tied to State Line Technologies' name for our cloud storage, which we will continue to pay until that is transferred over to a new consultant. We are not paying any invoices, receiving invoices for IT services, except for Mike came out and was a savior during a
Right,
potentially catastrophic incident, and we encouraged, of course, we said bill us for that time.
we didn't discuss this one charge. All right, thank you.
Right. Item 11, public comment. Anyone have public comment?
Old business?
I did new business and I went right into old business
Okay.
and you went back to new business.
Old
So you
business.
have something under old business?
I have something under old business.
Please.
Regarding the budget timeline, Scott, are you still planning to keep with the October 11th date for the first draft? Is that still doable? In the
Talking about
timeline that you
Friday.
put out, August 16th, you said that on October 11th, first draft budget available in binder and uploaded to SharePoint.
I will do my best. We are trying to have it presented at that committee of the whole meeting, October 18th. Whether I have it printed in a binder by the 11th, I'll do my best.
And when you do
I'll
that-
notify you when the binders are assembled.
Right. And when we do that, we always have the issue of the tax levy. I know it's not on the agenda to vote on it this time, but can we agree that we will vote on that issue, whether to build that into the revenue stream, taking the CPI or keeping it flat? Last year, you built it into the first set of numbers, and then we voted on it after the fact. So I think the board here should give you some direction as to which way to go with what revenue to plug in. And
I'll have to make sure, I'll look at, that'll be shared with Steve. Steve does the first round of revenue projections, and of course, he would need direction as to whether the levy adjustment was included in those revenue projections.
And then also under old business, I brought this up repeatedly and I still feel even stronger about it. And I don't want to hear about innocent until proven guilty. But our website vendor is even in deeper doo-doo than he was the last time I brought this up. And it is reprehensible that we do business with this firm. I would very much encourage that we sever ties with this company and have a new website vendor for next year. not only because of the ethical question involved, but the website is clunky. So I would like to see built into next year's budget proposition from a different vendor for the website. And we start out fresh, something new. That's it.
I got it all,
Thank you.
All right.
including the due
Item
date.
item 11, public comment. Once again, anyone remaining members of the public, either present or logged in the meeting wishing to speak, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. And if you're remote, please hit *6 for raising your hand, and Joe can see that. Joe, we got anybody out there that's raised their hand?
There's a couple
No.
members from the public, but nobody indicated any wishes.
Any of you folks like to speak under public comment this evening? No. Officers, you guys good? Good back there? Good. Excellent. Okay, public comment is now gone. Item 12, executive session. We don't need an executive session tonight. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. First by Justin Black. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Anthony King. Clerk call the roll, please.
Hetty,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Valco,
Yes.
Block,
Yes.
King.
Yes.